Hey there, YouTube. Did you know that 7.7 million people called Bay their home? Well, San Francisco's East Bay is made up of two counties. It's made up of Alameda County and Contra Costa County. Within those two counties, you can get just about anything you need. We have a professional sports team, we have museums, symphony orchestra, theater, as well as 3 international airports, so you can also get just about anywhere you want to go. So if you're thinking about relocating to the East Bay and you're wondering if it might be too expensive or not, if you want to hear the absolute facts about what the costs are of living in the East Bay, hang tight, because that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. What does it cost to live in the beautiful San Francisco East Bay? Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. If you're thinking about moving to the East Bay, or maybe you're considering a job relocation, you're trying to do your research online and figure out exactly how much it costs to live in the East Bay and what is your budget going to look like, you're in the right place. You've probably already heard and read that the cost of living in the East Bay is higher than it is in most other areas in the country. But I'm going to do a deeper dive. We're going to talk about 5 different categories of cost of living. We're going to nail down what are the cost of food, cost of utilities, cost of transportation, healthcare, and housing. If you're new to this channel, my name's Lisa Peck, and I'm a realtor and founder of Explore East Bay Homes, where we empower buyers, sellers, and investors of real estate to make the best decisions they can for themselves and their families. Okay, so let's dive into it. Number 1, food. Okay, let's talk about if you're gonna stay home and have a night at home and you want some groceries. If you're a one-person household, you're probably gonna spend about $312 a month on groceries. If you're a family of 4, that number jacks up to about $925 a month. Overall, groceries in the East Bay are gonna run you about 11% higher than they are for the average in the US. Let's say you want to jack it up a notch, okay? Let's say you want to go for date night. There's a great place in Walnut Creek called Vada V. That's where we go for date night. So if you're going to have maybe a couple glasses of wine, some appetizers, and maybe split a meal, it's probably going to be about $150 plus tip. Now let's just say you take the whole family and you decide you're going to take out pizza. So to get a deep dish pizza at one of my favorite places, which is Paci Pizza in Dublin, that's going to cost about $35 plus taxes. It's to go, so you got to go there and pick it up. $35. It's the best pizza in the Bay by far, though. Okay, number 2, utilities. Pacific Gas and Electric actually has both gas and electric, and on average in the East Bay, a single family home is going to cost about $400 a month. That's assuming you don't have solar and you don't have any house fans, you have older windows. That's probably an average that you can figure is about $400 a month for gas and electric. Now in California, we're really fortunate because we also have alternate sources of power. So you can do things like solar panels, you can heat your pool with solar panels, you can actually cover a lot of the power resource for running your single family home by the solar panels as well. But we'll dig in a little deeper on a different video for that topic. So what about water? Now, water's gonna run you probably about $200 a month. Keep in mind that water's actually billed every other month, so that bill's gonna look like $400. No matter which way you slice it, it's probably gonna be about $200. Now, I will say that I have 2 teenage boys, so maybe that number's high. So when you're considering housing in the East Bay, it's really important to consider all of the energy saving options that a house may offer you. It could have things like newer windows. It could have solar shades, whole house fans, different heating and cooling equipment that is more efficient. It could even have drought resistant yards, or better yet, solar panels on the roof. 3, let's talk about transportation. Okay, so keep in mind that San Francisco's East Bay is actually the 10th largest in the US, right? So it runs about 550 square miles. It's a really big piece of land. So if you're going somewhere, more than likely, you're gonna be behind the wheel for a little bit. So if you work in the city or you work in the peninsula, more than likely there's gonna be a bridge involved as well. So sometimes that adds time if there's a backup on the bridge, because you can't really avoid it. You can't really go anywhere or take a shortcut. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about gas prices. You are behind the wheel a lot more, so gas prices are really important. In the East Bay, we're seeing some of the most expensive gas prices in the country. Right now, as of October 2021, gas prices are running about $5 a gallon. Another way to get around in the East Bay is BART. It's not quite as comprehensive as maybe other cities' public transportation, but it is a good option and it is fairly well used. Just to give you an idea of the cost of using BART, if you were to take a round trip from Walnut Creek to San Francisco International Airport, that's going to run you about $23. So it's also not cheap. Okay, number 4, healthcare. So this is going to be an overall healthcare cost without insurance. So overall in the East Bay, the cost of healthcare is running about 10% higher than the average in the US. So if you need to go for an annual doctor visit, that's going to run you about $150 to $200. You need to get your eyes checked. It's also going to be about $150 or $200. Even if you need to go to the dentist, it's probably about that same $150 to $200. But you do get a break. If you have furry members of your family, the vet's probably only going to charge you about $69 for a visit. All of those numbers are before things like blood work or tests. So it kind of varies. It depends on what it is that you're going to see the doctor for, where you're going, and what else they need to do while they're taking a look at you. Okay, number 5, and the final cost that we're going to talk about today is housing. Housing in the East Bay is expensive, but it's probably the least expensive in the Bay Area. So it's a question that I get asked all the time. Hey, Lise, where do we get housing? How do we find a house and how much is it going to cost? So the median asking price for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family detached home in the East Bay is going to be $950,000. That is the median asking price. Now, as of October 2021, when I break that down into the counties, Alameda County, the median sale price is $1.35 million. Now, the same thing in Contra Costa County for that 3-bedroom, 2-bath, detached, single-family home. It's $960,000. So if buying a home isn't for you at this point and you want to consider renting in the East Bay, so that same 3-bedroom, 2-bath detached single-family home in Contra Costa County, that's going to run you about $4,300 a month. And by the way, in Contra Costa County, about a third of the people who live there are renters. Now, once we get to Alameda County, that same 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, single-family detached home, that's going to run you about $4,000. And those prices are higher, so we're going to see about half of the people who live in Alameda County are actually renters. Overall, the East Bay is an amazing place to live. It's a great place to raise a family, and the weather here is absolutely outstanding. We have proximity to just about anything you could want to do. If it's hiking, if it's drinking wine, or even playing in the snow in Lake Tahoe, it's all very close by, and it doesn't come without a cost. So if you've got any questions or you're considering a move to the East Bay, just type it in the comments down below, or feel free to reach out to us in our contact information, which is down below as well. If you're interested in searching for homes and seeing a little bit more about what your budget could afford for you, feel free to stop by our website. I'll put that link down below as well. Do me a favor, if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up below and consider subscribing so that we can let you know when we have new videos coming out. To make the boat blah, blah, blah. This is definitely one of the biggest questions that people have. Okay,